Hey guys, it's Mr. Bio again, and today I'm going to be doing my last lesson on this book, Sinkhole Science, and I will be taking a grade today to see if you are able to find the main idea, the details, and to write a one-sentence summary for the section that's going to be assigned today. Okay? But before we get to that, I want to kind of revisit what we talked about at the beginning of the week. We talked about whether this book was fiction or nonfiction. Okay, again, fiction being more like a story, right? Is this more like, one time I stepped out of the house, the ground was shaking, right in front of me there was a sinkhole. Is it more in that format, or is it more of a nonfiction text where it's giving me information like sinkholes can be found everywhere around the world? Okay, well, I think that our prediction was correct. This is a nonfiction text. Okay, so our so I'm gonna put a little star next to our yay. Yay! Yay! Okay, so it is a nonfiction text. And not only am I able to justify it that way, but if I also look at the photographs and the table of contents, and then also in this book, I love the photographs because it really does give me a visual of how a sinkhole looks. And then I love the diagrams. Now the diagrams show us what, in this case, it's showing us the two different types of sinkholes, right? So that's pretty cool. This photograph is pretty cool too. So that, and also the captions. So the captions, the photographs, the diagrams, the headings, all of those are giving me clues and justifying that this text is a nonfiction text. Okay, so let's go into finishing up our word work for today. So our word work for today, again, is going over compound words. And compound words are two words put together that have the same meaning. Okay, I'm going to go over some words that I found as I was reading. There are a lot of compound words in here, but some of them we already went over. So you were asked to read the two types section, and as I was reading, I came across some new compound words that we haven't gone over yet, and that is right here, wetlands. Okay, so again, what two words do you see in that word? You see the word wet, and you see the word land. Okay, so a wetland is land that is wet. Okay, on my next slide, I think I only found one here, and I might have missed some of them, and a lot of them we already went over, so I'm not highlighting those, but the one that we haven't gone over is without. Without is also a compound word. Again, the word with and the word out. Okay, that means you're not without something. So, without warning. So they didn't have a warning. Okay? And this one, I don't think I found any. Oh, yes I did. There's two on this page. I have limestone. Okay, the two words I see in there is the word lime and stone. And then another one that I found was rainwater. Okay, again, rain and water. And then on the last page, I didn't find any because it's a diagram. I could look. I actually did not look. Well, there's bedrock. We went over that one. We went over burden already. It looks like that is it on sinkhole, but we went over that too. So again, always remember that compound words are two words that create a one-word meaning. Okay, so we are going to finish off today with writing a summary for two types of sinkholes. Okay, so remember, using your graphic organizer, it's very important that you first write the heading of your section. Okay, now you're probably thinking, Mr. Bio, why do we have to write these summaries? What's the point of this? Now, as I said before, the point of writing summaries is to help us remember what we've read. Okay, because if I go, and I have my book here, obviously I printed mine out, but if I go and read this entire book, and I don't write a summary, and I'm not really jotting down my ideas and taking time to understand it, I'll probably forget what I had read. once I get to the end. Okay, so a summary is helping me remember. So like I can literally think about each section we read about and briefly tell you what each one of them is about. So at the end, I'm confident that I'm going to be able to comprehend what sinkholes are and what geologists do, or what geologists found when they studied the earth and they studied sinkholes. So again, today I'm going to guide you on how you should have summarize this section, and then today again you're going to have a grade, an assignment where it's going to be a grade. So please make sure that if you have any questions, let your teacher know, or you can also message me and I will gladly help you. Okay, so let's look. So I did read the section. Like I said before, before we left last time, was that when I was reading this, it was very hard for me to understand what I was reading. The reason for that is a lot of the words are words that I don't see often. And so that's why a lot of the times it was hard for me to understand. When I looked at this diagram, I was able to get a better understanding of what I read. Now again, it's important not to skip these things. These things aren't here, again, just to take up space. They're here for a purpose. There's a reason for this. So in this diagram, it talked about covered subsidence sinkholes. So here's the first type of sinkhole that they talked about in this section. And again, from when I read this, I was a little bit like, wait, what? And so I actually had the visual, an actual illustration of what it looked like. So now after I looked at this and kind of tied in the text, I now understood, okay, covered subsidence sinkholes are sinkholes that don't fully break through. They kind of just look like a little drop in the ground. Okay, so that's one thing I learned. And then if I go look back at the last diagram, which goes over a covered collapsed sinkhole, this sinkhole actually collapsed. It breaks through and creates a huge, giant hole. So it breaks through the overbearing soil. So that's what I learned as I was reading it. And so coming into my main idea, so again, my title is Two Types. And my main idea was that there are two types of sinkholes. Okay, because that's what the entire section was about. The entire section went over the two different sinkholes. My important details was the two different types of sinkholes. So the cover subsidence sinkhole, and I even put kind of, in my own words, what it is. I put creates bowl shape. And again, that's in my own words. If you get a different idea of it and it still makes sense, you may use that too, okay? And then covered collapsed sinkhole, actual hole in the ground. Again, that wasn't in, those words weren't in the text verbatim, but I understood that from the text, so I was able to do that. So when I write my summary, it says summary of the passage in one sentence. Okay, so I'm going to say in the section, two types, and then I'm going to write a very short summary. Okay? Okay, so this is what I came up with when I wrote my summary. In the section, two types, I read that there are two different types of sinkholes. Now again, think to yourself, is that what it was all about? Did Ms. Rubio summarize it correctly? Was it all about the two different types of sinkholes? Well, yes, it was. Now, remember, a summary is not those extra details. You're not going to go add, oh, yes, and then when the overbearing gets wet, then that's when it starts to break. And I'm not going to add those details because a summary is just what you briefly read in your own words. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's book. I know I really enjoyed reading it and learning about sinkholes. Just because I know that San Antonio had a sinkhole. I don't know if you guys know, but San Antonio had a sinkhole not too far from our school, off of Highway 90 in Hunt Lane. So I know of that because I used to pass by it, and there was apparently a sinkhole there. No one was injured from what I know, but it is interesting to hear about those things and then read about them and learn more about them. Right? And so remember that geology is the study of Earth, and geologists study the Earth to find out why things happen and the history behind it. Okay? I hope you guys, again, enjoyed reading the book. Don't forget that you are, today you are in charge. Let me know. You're in charge of reading Amazing Natural Sinkhole. So you are going to read this section right here. So you're going to read the top of this page, and then you're going to stop at the top of this page right here. Okay, so this up here and this here. You're going to read that, and you are going to write the main idea, the supporting details, and a summary. So here's what you're going to be assigned today. Okay, so instructions. Please do your best in completing the summary graphic organizer for the section Amazing Natural Sinkholes. And I put this will be a grade. Okay, so again, you're going to have to fill out this graphic organizer and turn it into your teacher. Okay, I can't wait to meet with you guys next week with our new book. Bye. Have a good weekend.